exactly what you want to see. Let's run this puppy in. Score a touchdown and tie this game. Life, run for your life, touchdown on one play. Worked on this in practice. Touchdown. It's up to Kelvin Benjamin. This is all you, buddy. Kelvin Benjamin for a touchdown. Oh, he toasted his man. Holmes toasted his man. Spin move. Oh! Oh! What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the video here on the Water Juice channel, and welcome back to another episode of the Chicago Cougars here on NBA 2K22. We finished our first season in the NBA. The inaugural season is complete, and guess what? We made the playoffs. We had some very solid progress in season number one. We developed our players to start the season. We had some solid scoring numbers from a few of our guys. We had some great looking defensive plays. We had some all-stars, and we made the playoffs as a decent seed. It's not like we snuck in the play-in and had to fight our way through. No, we were like the 4 or 5 seed. I can't remember exactly but what we were, but I think we were like the 4 or 5 seed. We did get knocked out in the first round by the 76ers, but it's just because we didn't have the talent to compare with Joel Embiid and James Harden and Tyrese Maxey and Tobias Harris and whoever else is on that 76ers team. We didn't have the playoff experience. We didn't have the experience in general, and we just didn't have the overall talent that the 76ers have, especially with Joel Embiid. So we got bumped in the first round, but it's great experience to start off this series, because if we wouldn't have made the playoffs and then for some reason make the playoffs next year, then that would be our first time in the playoffs, and our guys wouldn't know what to expect. Now we are playoff hardened. We even won a couple of games. I think we won 2 games. I think we went 6 games, and we won 2. So our guys have won playoff games, and they have gone on the road and played in a playoff environment. So we've gotten that experience under our belts for the future seasons, which is amazing. Plus, this offseason video, we've got money to spend. I don't know what our draft pick is going to be. I don't think it's very high, but we do have money to spend. So this free agency, we might be going crazy, bringing in some guys. And also, I do want to mention that for the season 2 beginning, next episode, I will have different jerseys. I am going to change up the jerseys. Not crazy. I'm just change up the design on the jersey, make it look a little bit different from what it looks like now, just to keep the excitement going in, the freshness, and give you guys something else to look at besides the same jersey over and over again, since we have that opportunity. So I will be changing the jersey. If you guys want to leave your suggestions down below for possible jerseys, certainly do that. Also, this is on the PS5, so if you guys have the PS5 and have 2K22 and you want to upload a Cougars jersey for me to download, or a Cougars arena for me to download, let me know in the comments. Let me know your ID or whatever it is, or the name of the thing, so I can download it. And then I'll use it. I'll consider it in the video. So that being said, I think it's time to make some splash signing. I really want to make a big splash signing in free agency. I don't know who's going to be in the class. I think it might be James Harden and Kyrie Irving and guys like that, but I'm not 100% sure. They could have accepted their player options. You never know. So I want to make a big splash signing. I want to bring some veteran talent in here along with these younger guys to kind of mesh, because every good team needs good young guys and good veteran guys. So I need to bring, and that's what we're lacking. We don't have any veteran leadership. So I definitely want to bring somebody in like that. But with all that being said, it's time to make an off-season video. I hope you guys are excited. If you are, leave a like, subscribe to the channel, join the Juice Club. Let's get to it. We start with player retirements, and Udonis Haslem is going to retire. I'm going to override that. Udonis Haslem, in my opinion, not my opinion, he is my favorite player of all time. I know that sounds weird because he's not really like a dominant player or a top 75 player of all time, or really even that great. But to me, Udonis Haslem, when I was starting to watch the Heat, Udonis Haslem was one of the mainstays on those teams. And then when they won the championships, and when they won the championships with LeBron, Wade, and Bosh, and it's just he's always been there. He's a Miami guy. I'm a fan of the Miami Heat, so I mean, I connected with him, and he's a good guy too. So Udonis Haslem is my favorite player of all time. So I'm not gonna let him retire. Dwight Howard is gonna retire. Trevor Ariza, Andre Iguodala, Paul Millsap, JJ Redick, Rudy Gay, LaMarcus Aldridge, Some interesting guys, interesting names are retiring here. Joe Johnson's gone. Okay. Very interesting names. Some high-profile guys. I don't think there's going to be a Hall of Famer in here. Iguodala might be. Dwight Howard might be. Those are very strong mights. But other than that, I don't think there's going to be. Dwight Howard. Okay. I wasn't sure if he was going to be in or not. Sometimes 2K can be a little stingy on who they put in the Hall of Fame. So, Dwight Howard, in just 1,200-plus games played, is going to retire. Those are his final career stats, if you care about Dwight Howard. Jersey retirement, does get his number 12 jersey retired in Orlando, expected. League meetings, we are going to reject all of these. There's nothing here that really entices me to accept it, so we will move on. And then the draft lottery. I don't think we have a draft lottery option here. No, it doesn't look like we do. So I guess we can just skip it. So the Trailblazers have the number 1 overall pick. Then we have the... Do we have a pick? We have the 28th pick. The 28th pick in the draft is our draft pick. Okay. That's very interesting. So we have the 28th and the 28th in the second round. Okay. Is there a world where we trade one of these guys? Our guys are on very, very team-friendly contracts because we at the beginning of the series, I mentioned how all these guys are just like throwaway guys that no team wanted to take a shot on, never could make it in the NBA. And then owner juice came in and he gave these guys a shot. So he offered them all small minimum deals, but they're on longer extensions, but they're all minimum deals. So that's why we have a ton of money to work with here. But is there a world where I could package one of these guys up for a higher pick maybe? Maybe we send Hudson Baldwin on the path. Let him see if he can get a shot at another team. That could be pretty interesting. Maybe he could give us some different options here. So it doesn't look like we can get anything crazy for straight up Hudson Baldwin, which doesn't surprise me. There's nobody here that I'd be willing to trade. We could get pick 26 and Moses Moody. Does that really move the needle? Pick 26 and pick 28? I mean, Moses Moody's a lot younger than Hudson Baldwin is. If the Bulls were offering their pick and Patrick Williams, I would probably think about this, but I don't really want that. Tyrese Maxey, we saw how good he could be. And then Jaden Springer, that's an intriguing one. This one is intriguing. I'm certainly on the path of maybe doing that. What about Gage Hagan? Is there any value for Gage Hagan out there? We certainly need to draft a point guard. I know that we've had some very solid point guards this season, but I think we need to draft a point guard or sign a point guard, do whatever. I think we need to bring a point guard in, is what I'm saying. It doesn't look like there's anything that great for just Gage Hagan. What if I throw Gage Hagan and Hudson Baldwin in? What if I package the two of them up together? Chris Middleton, that could get us Time Lord and Derek White. Okay. Paul George could be on the team, but Paul George is old at 32. I mean, I know I wanted to bring in some veteran talent. We could get Rudy Gobert, but it would have to give up a first-round pick from a couple years from now. Brandon Ingram is an option. We don't really need a small forward, though. We could get pick 5 in Christian Wood. Pick 5 in Christian Wood? I don't hate that. I do like Gage Hagan. I do like Hudson Baldwin. But they're two of our older guys. To bring in Christian Wood in the 5th overall pick? I'm down for that. Okay, so we got pick 28 and pick 5 on the team now. But we do lose a very pivotal piece in some of those guys. Do we need to hire a new coach? We have Michael Stoffer. No, we don't need to hire a new coach. I forgot we signed Michael Stoffer. So we're just going to move on from that. And then it is time for the NBA draft. I think I put the real draft class. I did put the real draft class. I thought I put the real draft class in. So Jabari Smith is leading the class. Then you've got Mookie Whitehead, who I don't know who that is. Where did he play? Duke. Okay. Chet Holmgren, Murray Reese. Who's Murray Reese? Oh, I think I added these guys. Did I add these guys? I think I added Mookie Whitehead and yeah, because I wanted to bring in some extra stuff. I gotta figure out who I added though. Oh, I'd have to go back and watch the video. I'm pretty sure I added Mookie Whitehead because he's a 6'8". Oh, we're taking Mookie if he's there. And Murray Reese. We need a point guard. Jabari Smith is also Hall of Fame potential. So is DeMarcus Cousins, Hall of Fame. Okay. Then you got DeMar DeRozan All-NBA, DeMar DeRozan All-NBA, All-NBA, Vince Carter, Tyrone Hill, Mike Miller. I know I added some guys. I forgot completely about that. I need to go back and... Did I add this guy? I can't remember. No, he's a real guy, I think. Who did I add? I know I created Murray Reese and Mookie Whitehead, but I can't remember if that's the all of the guys that I created or not. I don't know, but now having Mookie Whitehead in here, we might need to get him because if he's got Magic Johnson Hall of Fame at 6'8", point guard, Mookie is the guy. So, is there a world? What are the draft boards say? Not the draft boards. What are the mock drafts saying? They're saying Mookie will go to... Ooh, Mookie's not going on 2K until the Hornets is 7. Oh, but the consensus is that he's going to go number 2. So, that's not great. Who's got the number 2 pick? I know the Blazers have 1. The number 2 pick is the Pistons. Oh, that said they can't try. Okay, I'm going to turn that off real quick. Okay, so I figured it out. I turned off all the trade restrictions. We don't need any trade restrictions on here. Those are boring. So now we can trade for the Pistons pick. The Pistons have pick 2, so we can go. Teams may not trade first-round picks in consecutive. I thought I turned that off. All right, let me go back and check again. Okay, so I figured it out. I had to turn off the stipend rule is what I had to turn off. And now that I turned that off, they want Ashton Riley in pick 28. They want Ashton Riley, RJ Harden in pick 28. They want Darius Evans and Ashton Riley. It looks like we're not going to get out of this without Ashton Riley. Okay. I think I can work this because they're not asking for like crazy amounts. So I think I can work this without giving up the 5th pick. So if I give up pick 28, they want Ashton Riley. I'm not going to give up AR-15. I don't want to give up Ashton Riley. But I will give up Christian Wood, who I just brought in on that trade with the Rockets. I'll give you pick 28 in the 2nd round. And I'll give you... Who else do you want? You want Christian Fromm? You want Kursov? You want Ryan Evans? Ooh, Ryan Evans got 3-star. This might go through. No, it doesn't. Or he's got 2.5-star, not 3-star. What about a 2026 first-round pick from us? Goes through. So I was able to keep the number 5 pick, but trade the 28th pick. So we have 2 and 5. But I traded Christian Wood. So that's interesting. We'll have to figure out in free agency. I really hope that he doesn't go number 2 or number 1 to the Trailblazers. I'm hoping they take Jabari Smith. They do take Jabari Smith. Mookie Whitehead is going to be a Chicago Cougar player. It would have been cool if Jabari didn't go and then we could take Jabari. But choose prospect. Let's take ourselves Mookie Whitehead. Point guard from Duke. With the 2nd pick in the NBA draft, the Chicago Cougars. Our first ever draft pick is Mookie Whitehead from Duke. He led the nation with 3.5 steals per game. He was pickpocketing the world. Chet Holmgren goes 3 to the Magic. Oklahoma City, they do EJ Liddell at 4. A little high for EJ Liddell, but whatever. Not going to argue with that. I love me some EJ Liddell. And now we are up. And Paolo's still on the board. We've got Murray Reese still on the board, another guy that I created. We've got Jaden Ivey, Jaden Hardy, Paolo, Shadon Sharp, who looks good. Who's the better shooter? So he's got C- at the 3-point shooting. Hardy's got B-. But Jaden Ivey's got 3. Okay. All right. Jaden Ivey might be the guy. Jaden Ivey might be the guy. Let me just check and see. Let me take a look at the roster. Do we need a major power forward to get Paolo? Because we've got our point guard in Mookie. We've got our shooting guard, our small forward. We've got Jamie Washington Jr. So we don't really need a shooting guard. We could probably use a power forward more. So do we take Paolo? Do we take Paolo? We could trade back. What are they offering for the 5th pick? What are they offering for the 5th pick? Can we trade back at all? Nobody wants to move up? That's weird. Usually everybody wants to move up. Alright, so we can't trade back. I still want to pick. I just don't... I don't know what we need. Do we like Jamie as the starter? Do we want Paolo at the starter? Or another? We could... I mean, we still got free agency to decide with too. So, I don't know what I want there. We obviously know Trey Fuller is going to be the center. We know that Weaver's going to be the forward, and we know that Riley's going to be the shooting guard. Probably Mookie at point guard, or he could come off the bench depending on what happens in free agency. So really, point guard and power forward are really the only ones that are kind of up in the air for starter, because we got Mookie, but we don't know what's going to happen in free agency. Same with power forward. We could get Paolo, but we don't know what's going to happen in free agency. Plus, we already have Jamie. Shooting guards is a little tricky because we do have Ashton Riley, who is a guaranteed starter. But we do have the ability to get Jaden Ivey, who we think is going to be pretty good. He's DeMar DeRozan. I mean, Murray Reese is going to be good too. Murray Reese looks like a decent scorer. It's really between Paolo and Jaden Ivey. I don't know where I want to go. Paolo's a year younger. What are his attributes looking like? He's got good inside scoring, good playmaking, B potential. What's Ivey's potential? Ivey's got B minus potential. I don't know what I want to do. Do I take Jaden Ivey or do I take Paolo? Do I take a big guy or do I take a shooting guard? A big guy or a shooting guard? A big guy or a shooting guard? I don't know. I really honestly don't know what we need at this point. And obviously you got Shadon Sharp, but he just doesn't have the three-point shooting that I'm looking for. If I'm going to take a shooting guard, I'm going to get a guy that can actually knock him down like Jaden Ivey can. Plus, he's got decent inside scoring, too. Paolo could probably hit the occasional one, but that's not really what his game is. His game is more inside scoring and rebounding, probably. What about Ivey's rebounding? How does it commit? He's got A+ perimeter defense. Oh, wow. I don't know if I could pass up on this. Jaden Ivey looks really good with his stats. I think it's got to be Jaden Ivey. Sorry, Paolo, but I think Jaden Ivey just was too good. He's got the great perimeter defense. He's got great shooting. I think it had to be him. We'll probably watch the top 10 or until Paolo gets drafted. We'll see what happens. Jaden Hardy goes to Charlotte. The Kings take Paolo at 9 or at 8. Kendall Brown goes at 9. Who's going at 10? That was a tough decision. A trade. The Nuggets traded the Hawks, and they get Max Christie. Okay. So where does the rest of this draft end up? So Jabari's an 80. Mookie's a 78. Chet's a 79. EJ's an 80. Jaden Ivey's a 78. So we didn't get anything crazy in the draft. Paolo ends up being a 79. Shadon Sharp is a 78. Okay, so there's nothing out of the ordinary in terms of overalls. Okay. I'm happy with what we drafted. I'm happy getting Mookie and Jaden on the squad. I think that's going to be pretty good. Team options, we don't have anybody there. James Harden declines his player option. So does Kyrie, and so does Bradley Beal. So those are the 3 big names that are declining their contest. We're not going to bring these 2 guys back because they're technically not even supposed to be on the team. But we enter the moratorium period, and we have $78 million in cap space, and I'm wanting to spend it. It's just a matter of what we need. So our point guard, I'm probably going to start Mookie over Darius Evans. Then we have Ashton Riley. We have Weaver and Fromm. We need a power forward for sure. And maybe a backup center. So we need to look for power forward and center mainly. Miles Bridges is the best power forward, but he's also restricted. So I don't think this free agency is going to be for power forwards. We could sign a center and make him a power forward, because there's a few guys in here that could play power forward at backup. It sucks that DeAndre Ayton is restricted. He'd be a nice piece to grow with the team. I mean, I could offer him a contract and see what happens. We could offer you as much money as possible and see what happens. 4 years with a player option. What does that put us? That puts us as the top offer, but that doesn't mean that the Suns won't match whatever we throw at him. So we've got the top offer. James Harden is 32. Zach LaVine has no offers, and he's 27. That's very intriguing. Bradley Beal has no offers, and he's 29. I knew I shouldn't have been able to do that. What am I looking for? Am I looking for a Kyrie Irving type? Am I looking for a Kyrie Irving type, or am I looking for a James Harden / Zach LaVine type? Or, I mean, we don't have to spend any this money now. We could save it for next season's free agency when there could be even crazier players in there. It's just a matter of, is this team good enough as it's currently constructed? What can I get for RJ Harden? I know he's not super valuable, but he's kind of been relegated to the bench because of bringing in Mookie with the draft and all that kind of stuff. So we could get him a pick next year for him. I like the fact that we could do that. A pick from the Knicks. Who was the other pick from? The Warriors would give us a pick, but it's not as valuable because the Warriors are good. It's from the Cavs. Are the Cavs good? Are the Cavs better than the Knicks? I think the Knicks pick might be more valuable. So RJ Harden straight up for a 2023 first round pick. I don't hate that. Evans and Mookie. I mean, even Ashton Riley can play some point guard if we need him to. Like if it gets out of hand. I don't think it's worth bringing in Kyrie. I feel like that's just a waste of money if we bring in Kyrie, because we'd have to overpay. It'd probably be a 4 or 5 year deal at the most. Well, actually, I'd probably make a 3 year with a player option attached. So is that really even worth it? Same for Harden, LaVine, Beal. This free agency is good, but it's not like spectacular with the stuff that we need. Like, we need a power forward. We need a guy that can come off the bench and get us some power forward minutes, which Otto Porter could do that. I wouldn't hate having Otto Porter come off the bench for us, so we'll offer him a contract. We have one more offer we can do on day one. Do we just throw money at one of these big name guys and see what happens? I mean, we could also use one of these guys as a trade piece. It's not like we would be set in stone with these guys if we sign them. We can also use them as trade bait, which is kind of why I would go with like a Zach LaVine, because he's younger than Kyrie and James Harden. I'll offer Zach LaVine, and we will give him a player option. If he signs, he signs. But who knows? So we've got, we're going to decline these two guys. All three of them have agreed so far, but I'm not going to be surprised if DeAndre Ayton gets, I was going to say, if he gets matched by the offers there. So DeAndre Ayton's gone. He's off the table, but that was a pipe dream anyway. I didn't think I was actually going to get him. So we do have the option to get Otto Porter, which is going to be good for some backup power forward minutes. Zach LaVine, if he signs, would be awesome. It looks like we're across the board right now, and we can use him as bait. This is our last chance to offer Bradley Beal if I really want to. I don't know if I do or not. All right, we sign. Oh, Kyrie didn't accept any offer. We sign Zach LaVine. So Zach LaVine becomes our best shooting guard behind or in front of Ashton Riley. And we got Otto Porter on the team now. I could really use a backup center besides John Barnes. The Ginger Giant's really good, but... Alright, now we got kind of a logjam at shooting guard. But like I said, Zach LaVine most likely is trade bait. Kyrie. We have $39 million. That would take up all of our money if we tried to sign Kyrie. A backup center. Is Andre Drummond really the best backup center we could go for? Is that a good option? Maybe we get Thomas Bryant? That could be interesting. He doesn't really fit our system, though. Montrezl Harrell. I mean, Andre could be intriguing as a veteran off the bench. A 3-year deal I don't really like. I don't think we're gonna go for Kyrie. I think that's just out of the realm of good ideas. But I don't hate the idea of bringing in another guy to be a point guard, like a Gary Payton, who for some... Oh, they didn't change it. I was going to say for some reason he plays point guard center is his options. Colin Sexton's restricted. If I could get either one of these guys, that would be good. Colin Sexton, are they going to match it? Oh, they didn't match Sexton. Interesting. It would take me over the salary cap to get Gary Payton. I didn't think Colin Sexton would accept that contract. I thought the Cavs would sign him. So I will just move Colin Sexton to point guard. And remember, some of these guys are going to be trade bait, like Colin Sexton, probably going to be trade bait. He's an 80 overall. Darius Evans might even be trade bait. And then we got Andre Drummond, who I didn't think was going to sign. All right, we got 14 players. We don't have any money anymore. Do I like what we did? I think I do. I think I like the team now. We made a big splash with Zach LaVine, but he could certainly be trade bait. Most likely will be trade bait. Maybe at the deadline, we move him to a team that's really contending. It's just going to be intriguing to find out what we do with this lineup, especially with like Mookie Whitehead, because I really wanted him to start, but he doesn't really fit the thing. I think we're done with free agency. We spent all our money. Spent all the money. How's player progression? Ashton Riley goes up 19. I don't know if that's a thing because he's still an 86. Fromm goes up 15. Weaver's up 7. Sexton's up 5. So Sexton's probably going to be our starting point guard now that I look at it. Darius Evans. Washington Jr.'s up 15. Trey Fuller's up 14. The development or the progression up is crazy. I've never seen anything like that before. All these guys just went skyrocketing to the moon, but they didn't change their overalls that much. I mean, Ashton Riley, I think, was an 86 already. He's got great three-point shooting. That's good. That's the end of the offseason. I'm interested to see what you guys have to say about this offseason, about the free agency, most importantly. What will you guys have to say about it? Will you think it was a W? Do you think we shouldn't have spent all the money? I shouldn't have spent all the money in free agency? Because that's a good possibility that I probably shouldn't have spent all the money. We've got Colin Sexton, Zach LaVine, Fromm. I don't like that. I'm going to have LaVine start it. No. I want Ashton Riley to start at shooting guard. I know that for sure. And Weaver needs to start at small forward. Do we have Weaver come off the bench? Is that really the move? Do we have... I want these guys getting 30 minutes. Do we have Riley and Weaver coming off the bench for LaVine? Is that a good idea? Ivy's getting... No, I don't want Ivy to be on the thing. We can take away some minutes from John Barnes, put him in the reserves. I want Ivy to at least get some minutes. Him and Mookie, I certainly want to get minutes. But I don't know what I want to do here. Do we want Zach LaVine as like the greatest sixth man of all time? Is that what we want? Until we can move him at the deadline? That could be a possibility. I don't hate this rotation. I kind of don't want Sexton start, but he is the highest overall point. I mean, we could have Darius Evans start, I guess. I'll keep Sexton as the starter for now, but he could be moved at the deadline certainly to a team that's contending. But I think this is the lineup that I want to go with. The 5-man lineup that I want to go with to start the season. Obviously, we've got Zach LaVine on the bench, which is a considerable downgrade in terms of overall for like Jamar Weaver and stuff. But I want to get these guys the start. I want to keep them as the starters. So this is going to be an interesting season up until the deadline when we maybe trade them to a team. But I did trade RJ Harden for a future first-round pick, which is this year's pick. So we have our pick and the Knicks pick this year. So that is going to be valuable. We can take a look at the prospects. It's Victor Wembanyama. So another good center. Scoot Henderson, Derek Whitehead. I got to go back to that first video and see all the guys see how many guys I created. I can't exactly remember how many prospects I created that year. It's been so long since I did it. But that's going to do it for this offseason episode. A lot of stuff went down in this video. A crazy draft, trading away some key players, signing Zach LaVine when we might not need him. I don't know. Let me know down below what you guys thought of it. Was it a W? Was it an L? Did you not care? I don't know. Let me know. I'm very curious to see what you guys had to say. Also, there are going to be new jerseys for the start of season number 2. So let me know if you guys have any ideas for that. And I probably will just go and tweak them a little bit, change the design on it, make it not look as similar to the away jersey and the home jersey as they do now. So I'm going to do all that, and then we'll come back in the next episode and start the new season. It looks like at home against LA, so that's going to be pretty crazy, going up against LeBron and Anthony Davis. Okay, what a crazy offseason episode. Thank you guys so much for stopping by and watching. Smash that like button if you did enjoy. Hit that notification bell. Subscribe to the channel. Join the Juice Club, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace.